Hi, it's Ryan 1988. Justin, I'm with the lovely Renee Woodley.
Just go eat some Skittles.
Hi, I'm Lisa Wilcox from Nightmare on Elm Street 4 and 5. I play Alice Johnson, and you are watching Ryan 1988. Go eat some Skittles.
This is Judith O'Day from the original Night of the Living Dead. Ryan 1988. Go eat some Skittles.
Hi, this is Danielle Harris. You're watching Ryan 1988. Now go eat some Skittles.
Hey, this is TJ Wilson. You are watching Ryan 1988. So totally eat some Skittles.
Ryan 1988, I'm with Tom Atkins. Tom Atkins has to say, go eat some Skittles.
What's up, awesome YouTubers? Ryan1988 or Justin back here to do another video in my countdown to Halloween videos. And today we're talking about a brand new movie, and it's also a brand new horror movie sequel, a part 2, which is the theme for the rest of October. So I hope you've been enjoying my October videos. I started back in September. I wanted to pump out a lot of content, so I hope you have enjoyed everything, and stay tuned for the last videos that I have during the rest of this week, which is the end of October. But today I'm here to talk about Black Phone 2. This is the sequel to the 2021 movie Black Phone. It doesn't feel like that movie's been out for that long. I can't believe how long that movie came out. It just feels like it was yesterday, but I feel like these last years were just kind of a blur for a lot of people, and so when you think about Black Phone 2 and coming out in 2021, it just doesn't seem that way. But Black Phone was a huge hit. It's well received by a lot of people. I love the first Black Phone movie. I think it is a great thriller. It's more of a thriller than a horror movie, in my opinion. It's got, obviously, its horror movie elements into the film. The story is definitely scary, and, you never want a child to be put in harm's way. And so that part is scary. The idea is scary. But I feel like the first one is definitely more of a thriller suspense film than it is an actual horror movie. So Black Phone 2 takes place years after the events of the first movie. Finn and his sister Gwen are older in the film, and they're having to deal with the events of the first movie. Finn, has a lot of problems because of what he went through in the first movie, and, you see that throughout the film. You're seeing his aftermath. Again, you're seeing what Gwen has gone through and what she's dealing with, and she's still dealing with these nightmares of the grabber and everything that happened. So even though she wasn't kidnapped and she didn't go through what Finn went through, she still has had a tough time dealing with things, dealing with the death of her mother. Her Finn and Gwen's mother is talked about more in this movie, and she's part of the story. So Gwen's having to deal with that. Gwen's also having a lot of nightmares. Again, dreaming of the grabber, dreaming of what happened to her brother in the first movie. So she's dealing with her things. But you know, they decide to investigate who the grabber was, where the grabber came from, and in Gwen's dreams, she is dreaming of a Bible camp, a winter campground that has been closed for decades, since 1957. So they go there to see what happened. There was 3 boys that were murdered at this camp, and they want to investigate and figure out what went on in this camp. And again, you find out that the grabber worked there, and you find out about his past. Once again, you find out more about Finn and Gwen's mother in the film. Their father's back in this movie, and he's in a better place. He's trying to be a better father. And you're introduced to a whole group of different characters in this movie, including a character that his brother died because of the grabber. So he's introduced into this movie, and he is, the sort of love interest to Gwen's character. So, and he wants to protect her and be there for her, like Finn wants to be there for Gwen. And once again, the grabber comes back. They're thinking about the grabber. They're talking about the grabber. So, like, Ethan Hawke's character is summoned back, and he returns back to this camp. So, and wants to be at this camp. And you find out more about different things that went on as the movie goes on. So, that is the plot of the movie without giving a lot away. I don't want to give too many spoilers away with this movie. I will say that I enjoyed this one a little bit more than I did the first one. I love the first movie, but I love Black Phone 2. This is an example of a sequel that is better than the first movie. And it's also, this is more of a true to form horror movie. Again, I mentioned, I think that the first Black Phone movie is really more of a suspense thriller. The idea of the story is scary, and I think that, or I know that, in my opinion, Ethan Hawke is scary in the first movie. The mask, the way, like, he presents himself, and his performance is very scary in that original movie. But he is scary in this movie, and he wants revenge, and once again, this is definitely more of a horror movie. It's scarier. I definitely was scared, or it definitely had its scary moments in the theater for me. I think the movie is very intense. It's definitely bloodier. There's things that aren't over the top as far as gore goes, but there's definitely things that will shock you and creep you out in this movie, and they're very eerie. There's very eerie moments throughout the film, stuff that you see on screen. The dream sequences that Gwen has are terrifying. This is very much in the lines of, now we're jumping into Nightmare on Elm Street territory, where, the grabber is not a human being now. Like, he can invade your dreams and can attack you and possibly kill you in your dreams. So his presence is always there. And again, those dream sequences, there's one especially in a kitchen that I find to be so intense and so scary. And you really feel bad for Gwen, because she's the one that is really being tormented in this movie. And you find out why the grabber is going after Gwen in the film. So, that being said, I love the fact that they switch things around in this movie, and this is more of Gwen's story. Yes, Finn is a, major character in the movie, obviously, and you're seeing his struggles with what happened to him in the first film, but this is Gwen's story, and it's her movie, and I think the acting is fantastic in this. I think the actors that play Gwen and Finn are awesome in this movie, like they were in the first movie. Especially Gwen, I feel like her performance is even better in this movie, being that she is like really the main focus of the film. Ethan Hawke as the grabber is terrifying in this movie. He's quite scary, and when he's on screen, he's just mean, and he wants revenge, and he does a great job, and I loved the practical makeup on him, so really loved his performance in this, and he is scary in this film, and I think, no, in my opinion, this is one of the scariest horror movie sequels ever made, and it's a scary movie. Scott Deckerson, hopefully I'm saying his last name right, comes back to direct this film. I believe either wrote the movie completely or co-wrote it. I can't remember, but he does a fantastic job, and I know he doesn't do a lot of sequels to his movies. He doesn't direct a lot of sequels to his movies, but he came back for this and just knocked it out of the park. Overall, the new characters in this movie, the performances in this movie from the new characters, I think they do a great job. Everybody pretty much equally does a great job. There was a couple characters in this movie that you're not supposed to really like them, and it definitely comes off that way in the film, especially one character. She is like one of the leaders of this camp. And even after things that happen with Gwen, she still believes that Gwen is like this evil child, and obviously that's not the case, because you're seeing things, they're witnessing things, they're seeing things in person, what's happening to Gwen, but she still doesn't want to believe it, and she believes that like Gwen is the cause of this and she's evil. So if I had like one major con with the film, because I feel like this movie, in my opinion, is an almost perfect film, I love this movie, I would say that some of the characters just kind of annoy me in this movie as far as new ones go, and it's really just this main character that she's one of the owners of the camp that I just don't like, and her husband in the film, while he's not a bad person, he doesn't do too much with the story, and he really just follows his wife around, so, you know, good acting there, good acting from both of them. They are just some of the flaws in the film for me. So, otherwise, I love this movie. If you've not seen The Black Phone 2 yet, please go watch it. Go see it in theaters. This is one that you definitely need to see in theaters because it is scary. And I think with the speakers that you have in a theater and the big screen, this movie will terrify you. It scared me, and it's going to go down as one of the greatest horror movie sequels ever made for me. So I would definitely put this in the top 10 favorite horror movie sequels of all time. I loved it so much, and once again, it's very close to being a perfect movie. Just a few little flaws within some of the new characters, but real quick, I gotta mention, I love the setting in a movie. I love the setting in this. Again, it takes place at a campground, a camp for kids, and Gwen and Finn and another character that's introduced to this movie goes there to be camp counselors while also trying to investigate this place. But I love the setting, and I love that they took the direction in a snowy atmosphere. Like, it is just like downpouring snow in this movie. There's a blizzard going on pretty much throughout the whole film, and I love a snowy atmosphere horror movie, and I feel like we don't get them a lot, and this is going to go down as like one of the best snowy atmospheric movies. I look forward to rewatching this movie during the winter time. It's going to be up with that and like The Thing for just those snowy atmospheric movies that I'll go back and rewatch. So, but go check out Black Phone 2. I didn't want to spoil anything for you. You're introduced a lot more to, well, you're introduced to new characters. Gwen and Finn's mom is mentioned quite a bit in this movie. There are definitely surprises throughout the film, and you find out why the character of the grabber is back in this movie, why he's at this camp terrorizing them, and why he's out for revenge. So there's a lot of things going on in this movie without spoiling things that I want you all to go see for yourself. So anyway, that's going to be my review for the Black Phone 2. Again, love this movie. Almost a perfect movie. Almost a perfect movie. But but it just had small cons, very small cons within new characters in the film. So, love the film though. Check it out. It's going to be one of my favorite, or it is one of my favorite horror movies of the year by far. Might be my favorite. We'll see. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, you all are awesome. You all rock. And with the positive out with the negative. And I'll talk to you later. Bye, everybody.